Wayakantake, Earth Keeper. Your feet are wet from many lands. Keep your heart clean, and you will see the unseen. Saishale, Wayakantake, carried over nations' water. Saishale, Wehasate, Earth Keeper, you have broken through the protective embrace. Now face the visions put forth long ago. Wisdom from the heart of the mother, revealing the patterns of your heart. You are a teacher.
Hello and happy Friday, my beautiful listeners. Welcome back. I am sitting here in the most incredible spot, getting my divine juices going by this creek here. For those of you that can see, for those of you that can hear, I hope you can hear it. But if you can't, you can hear me and enjoy just through feeling my vibe and my happiness. Yes. And today I have my gorgeous goddess friend, Delaney Dwight. How are you, darling?
Hi, my love. I'm just so grateful to be here.
I'm grateful that you're here. I know that, you're in a time of being present with yourself and, with that divine feminine energy that is so juicy these days. I know you're highly connected with all of that. And so I don't know if you feel like just saying a little something about yourself, because there's so many marvelously magnificent things that you do.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really incredible to be here right now because, a few hours ago I went through I was just really integrating into this really soft internal integration process of a lot of the information I've been receiving over the past couple weeks after doing ceremony in Moab and doing really beautiful priestess activation work with the earth. And, you encouraged me to show up today regardless of the state that I'm in. And honestly, it is a little bit of an edge push for me because I'm feeling this feeling of wanting to be internal, and it's clear that I'm meant to be here. Mm-hmm. So that's the medicine, is showing up exactly as we are. And just a little bit about me. I am a multidimensional shamanic embodiment artist.
Yes.
And I really am here to share the codes of devotion and intimacy and union and ecstasy and wildness and freedom and orgasmic unconditional love. So I have so many different modalities and tools that I love to use, that I've studied. And for years on my journey, I've been going deep into ceremony and learning Reiki and studying Tantra and yoga and traveling and receiving all the magic and juiciness of this life, and also learning how to really become an alchemist and alchemize the denser energies that are in the world in these times. And what I've been tapping into recently is, even past all the modalities and tools, the frequency that we carry is the most potent and powerful gift that we have to share with the world. The vibration of our essence, the vibration of our heart, our authenticity, and allowing that to really ground down into our body, into our cells, is one of the greatest gifts that we can give. So recently I really disidentified with all the labels of like mentor, coach, teacher, and this profound realization clicked in for me that yes, I have teachings. I love to share my wisdom. I love to heal. I love to guide. I love, sharing the space of being a medicine woman and an earth priestess. And I love making music. But like at the end of the day, I am an artist. And what I'm here to share with the world, it's not so much about teaching how to, it's more so feeling into the energetic vibration and frequency of my essence pouring into the world. So
that's so much what I love about you. As I watched, those beautiful videos of you just like letting loose and dancing, or the workout videos where you're like super focused, and then there's the side of you that raps and sings, and so it's so beautiful to watch. How I don't think I've ever heard you teaching. It's always you sharing your experience, from your heart.
Thank you. Oh, you're so beautiful, babe. I love being in your presence.
Ditto, mama. And I remember one of the conversations that we had about somebody that you were like, I'm definitely going to have this person in my life, and it happened, and that I just have really enjoyed and appreciated your journey with your partner. And so I don't know if you want to speak to not necessarily that relationship, but how transforming within yourself, sort of created and allowed that to happen.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that we had this really intimate conversation about all of this, when I was rejoining with my lover, my soulmate, my king. That's amazing. Oh yes, now I remember. So the journey of my love life and my relationships has been, I think, one of my, greatest sources of transformation, truly. And something I've learned also recently and really connected with is that, again, we can do all this work. We can work with all the modalities. And at the end of the day, our relationships are the most important thing in our life. And what that really means is it's all connection. So everything that's being shared in the online space, social media, through the gurus and the mentors and the teachers, it's all about relationships, whether it's teaching about money, whether it's teaching about business, whether it's teaching about how to activate your shamanic, cellular, crystalline energy, whether it's tarot card readings. It's all about relationships because it's all about connection. So our relationship with ourself is where it all begins. Who are we behind closed doors? Who are we when there's no one watching on a screen, when there's no one looking at us? Who do we show up as in those moments? And that relationship with ourself is where we get to build the deepest integrity. And when we show up and we're honest with ourselves about where we are, then we can get so much clarity about where we're going and what we want to create in the world. And so, it's not just our relationship with ourselves, it's our relationship with the earth, our relationship with our family, with our sisters, with our brothers, with the people that we love and care about, and our relationship with money, with physical, financial world, our relationship with love, our relationship with all of it, right? And so it's all about the connections and the way we connect with self, and that reflects into every area of our life. And it's something we hear about a lot, but to really deepen into an understanding of that wisdom is where real embodied maturity of the heart wisdom comes from, is that integrity and that relationship that we create with ourselves. It's so important, the self-love, the self-honesty, the self-acceptance. It's where it all begins. And my journey is wild because I think 6 years ago now, I met a man that I would definitely call my twin flame. And there's so many different beliefs and teachings about what the twin flame is and what that symbolizes. And I really feel that we have more than one twin flame. And that for me personally, what feels the most resonance for me is that we have a lot of people that can be our soulmates. We're all soulmates. And there are certain specific souls that we came from the same exact magic and light of God. or the creator, or spirit source, whatever you want to say. And I met this man and fell in love with him 6 years ago. And we met in a bar. I was still working as a server. And I just remember seeing him from across the bar, and I was just in awe. I was like, oh my God, he is so beautiful. And I walked up and I was introduced to him because his friends knew my friends. And he showed me his knuckle tattoos that he had just gotten 2 weeks prior to him coming to visit Denver. And we had the same knuckle tattoos. He had Live Free just tattooed on his knuckles. And I also had Live Free tattooed on my knuckles. And we start looking at each other and we're like, whoa, we have all the same tattoos in the same places. We're both hip hop artists. Like, we both have the same birthdays. Like, our birthdays were a couple days apart. It was just uncanny. And we fell so in love instantly. I remember going out, I was smoking cigarettes at the time. And I remember going outside to the bar to smoke a cigarette with my girlfriends. And I was like, I'm going to marry him. Like, I don't even know anything, but I just know I'm going to marry him. I love him already. And, you know, fast forward, we fall in love. He moves from Florida, surprises me one day after the gym. Me and my best friend Ariana are working out, and she was like in cohorts with him to get him out here to Colorado. And he surprises me after a workout, and I was just crying. I was like, I don't know how I can live without him. Like, now that I've met this man, everything in my life has changed. Like, I know what this sacred union is that everyone talks about. And he surprised me. Like, we got an apartment. We had a lot of like struggles and things that we were learning how to deal with in the financial world and from the lineages that we've come from. And then he, fast forward, he passed away like 7 months later. Yeah. And that was what began my journey. That was what really was my initiation into my journey. And just to simplify, I feel really integrated with him and his spirit. And, you know, I've done so many DMT ceremonies, ayahuasca ceremonies where he's come and communicated with me. He comes when I just sit outside. And he's like, I'm here living with you. Like, every time you cry, every time you dance, everything you're going through in your human experience, I'm living through you. Like, just because my body isn't here doesn't mean that I left you.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah. And then he came to me in a dream, maybe a year after he died, clear as day. It was, I've been learning how to really work in the underworld in my dreams. Like, I do a lot of subconscious collective work in my dream state. And this dream was so special. And I remember I was sitting in this golden park of light. And he was sitting on a bench waiting for me. Like, it was like a heaven grove of Eden. And in my dream, I walk up. He's like, babe, come sit down. I need to talk to you. And he was like, I'm gonna cry. He was like, I am going to bring a man into your life that will not leave you, that is here to do the work with you, that will care for you and love you and show up relentlessly devoted to loving you. And it was just the clearest, everything about heaven and God clicked in for me in that time. And all of the illusions that have been created by societal beliefs and religious systems just dissolved. And I really understood what God meant. Like, God, Goddess, Spirit, Source. I really understood God energy in that moment because it was just undeniable in my heart and soul. I knew it through and through. And fast forward, I met my partner Demel a few years ago at the gym, and we had, such a crazy journey. And like, when we met each other, every single thing that was keeping us attached to trauma and rooted in sadness and grief and ancestral patterns of like sadness and disharmony and like the family template that we're all healing collectively, all of that came up to the surface for Demel and I to heal. And, last year we separated for a while, and I really began to unlock the codes of devotion to myself. And this is where it all comes full circle, and that reconnects to that wisdom of knowing like your relationship with yourself is where it all starts. your relationship with God, your relationship with the earth, your relationships is where it all begins. And we came back into union at the beginning or the end of last year. And we've both been just understanding, like, we show up to our relationship every day by conscious choice. There's times where it's difficult, you know? There's times where we're facing like the hardest parts of ourselves to look at that we could possibly see, and reflecting that back to each other. And there's times where it is so incredibly beautiful and ecstatic, and we're learning how to really ground down that heaven frequency. And it's because Demel years ago devoted himself to himself. He devoted himself to himself. He was celibate for 5 years before we met.
Wow.
Like completely celibate. And I devoted to myself, you know, when Manny passed away. And all of that really started to integrate last year during a world pandemic, during like the biggest revolutionary times in this life for us as a collective. And now we're just learning harmony and peace and love, and how to deepen our intimacy, and how to support each other and keep showing up consciously devoted and choosing each other every day. And that only could have happened through us choosing ourselves first.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And it just reminds me of something that I say a lot, and that's the vibration of recognition, you know? And so, and re-evolution, you know? So, like, just, I loved what you were saying about your vibration and your own sound, because that's also what I believe in, is, or your own frequency, you said. And I believe that we are not only bodies, but we are sound frequency. We are a vibration of energy and light. And like you're saying, is just tap into that and allow it to show you, allow it to surface, allow it to bring forward your purpose. And, you know, that's what I started this radio show / podcast about, is, you know, as much as you want to try and resist it, it's vibrating in you. It's in you. It's there. It's innate. It's your wisdom. It's you. It's your essence. It's everything that you are. And it's trying to break through to meet you in the softest place, like you said, where you are right now, in that soft place. In that, you know, because it's like it's your mother and your father inside of you. It's your masculine and your feminine, and it's waiting to love you. And so I'm at that point in my life where I'm really embracing, embodying, and understanding that, you know, it's not busy. It's about, you know, what's the vibration, the essence of you, the sound. See, the bird agrees. So that's why I enjoy, you know, your dance stuff too, is because I found that when I'm in those times where I just don't feel like, you know, I just don't feel like doing life. I dance, I crank my music, I sing, I vibrate my voice, whatever I can to like uplift and shift my frequency, so that I'm resonating with like where I am right now, with the birds and the water and the creek and this beautiful tree I'm sitting in, and just taking the time to really enjoy and appreciate and give thanks for this world that we inhabit, you know, and the world that is within. So,
wow. Aww. You're such a wisdom keeper, my love.
Thanks. I'm, you know, constantly allowing openness and freedom for that expression and understanding of what that truly means. And so I thank you for that, because I do think so. You know, I've always thought of myself as a wood pixie nymph, you know, a wood nymph, pixie, fairy. That's what I am. Wisdom keeper, yeah. And the song actually at the beginning that plays is called Earth Keeper. And it was a message to me from the powers that be and myself, that was basically saying, Earth Keeper, you are, you know, an Earth Keeper. And they were telling me to keep my heart open and clean, and I'll see the unseen. That's one of the lines in the song. I don't sing, but I happened upon this poetic thing that came out, and it had, you know, the ancient.
Your volume just went off for a second, babe.
I don't know how that happened, and I don't know where that left off, but I think it's because someone's trying to call me. Anyway, so just I was talking about the song Earthkeeper, and I don't know, what did you hear?
Yeah, you were talking about the Earthkeeper wisdom in that song, yeah.
Yeah, and so it says, keep your heart clean and you will see the unseen, you know, and then an ancient language came through me in the song as well. So for me, I guess I am a singer. I have, you know, been in choir and I have sang songs and stuff, but it's not my thing. So it was super awesome when that poem came to form in song.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, babe. And I love what you're sharing around the bees. It's because there's a term in society that's literally the busy bees. Like, you're a busy bee. And it's not about being the busy bee. It's about busying a bee, like the buzz and the vibration of being. Like,
nice.
Being. And that is the receptive feminine way of radiance and magnetic energy, and that buzz of being. So it's interesting that we have taken something like, bees aren't actually busy, they're just vibrating. They create these incredible sacred geometrical structures to live in, and how do you think they create those honeycombs so perfectly? It's through vibration. It's all through the sound and vibration. And when we can really understand frequency and vibration and the buzz of being, that is like when we start to unlock the energetic self-mastery and wisdom of the multiverse.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just it's like being in my brain is that reminds me of, like, you know, a blind person or a deaf person, I think, too, because they also have to feel the vibration. So like that translates to when we close our eyes and we go within, is our senses expand, and so that we have a clearer understanding of the outer inner world and the interaction of those vibrations and the oneness of it all, that you are not separate from any of that, but we choose somehow to separate ourselves from that, or to pretend that we don't understand or that we don't know something it's our natural wisdom.
Yeah, it's like this is how I've learned to understand the human experience, is we co-created as being sovereign creators and co-creators with God of this reality, God moving through us, spirit moving through us. We created the human experience to understand, like, to come into this realm and to understand everything that the essence of love isn't, so that we can know what it is. So like the illusion, we came into, because it's all just an illusion. It's not saying there is actually separation. We came into the illusion of separation so that we could know unity. It's hilarious. Because when we're just in the frequency of unity, that's it. It's just oneness. It's just wholeness. So it's like we co-created this whole reality to go into the illusion of this. That's what awakening is. It's just awakening from the illusion of separateness. You know, that's what enlightenment is. It's not something to attain outside of us. We don't become more enlightened. We don't attain enlightenment. We shed the layers of illusion that we put ourselves into in the dream within the dream, so that we could remember, oh yeah, our knowing of our natural state is unity. And the only way to really understand that was through contrast and going into the illusion of separation.
And I love that, the dream within the dream, because really reality or real world or whatever you want to call this daily thing that we do is not separate from dream time, because in dream time, like you said, you're in process. There's a stage in your dream where you are going back and you're working through stuff and you're cleansing and you're clearing your day-to-day life. So for me, when I started doing a lot of dream work, I'm like, wait, did I dream that? Or is that like, it was very, very, very difficult to find the line of what I dreamt and what was real. I thought I was going crazy for a minute, but I knew I wasn't because I wrote it down. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Well, makes sense. I worked it out in my dreams.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like there's been multiple points where like so much magic has shown itself to me that I have definitely, in my awakening journey, so many times questioned my sanity. And then I always come back to like learning the sovereignty and learning to trust in seeing it past the veil, seeing past the illusion. And something I keep coming back to is that magic is real. Magic is real. Magic is connected to love. It's connected to creation. And I really feel that that's what's starting to wake up in the earth and within our own cells. Like, we are magic. We are the medicine. It's in our cells. And as we awaken that within ourselves, carrying that frequency awakens it in the earth. And then when the earth awakens, it awakens us more. And it's this beautiful, synergistic, like, process of remembrance of magic and love and creation, you know?
Remembrance. You know, those two words it's like, oh yeah, we do get the chance to redo this, you know? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like that concept. And I love magic. That's why I love your love stories. Not stories.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
Yeah, and then, just the thing is, I lost my mommy when I was young, 3 years old. So I've known my whole life that just because somebody passes on, they're not gone. They're still here. Like, so I got fascinated with like what happens when you pass. Well, you have everlasting life. You don't your soul doesn't disappear. So it's quite amazing to have had, I was sad for a long time about it, but it's quite amazing to have had the communications with the other side and to have the understanding of, the fact that it's all energy, and that you're still connected.
Mm-hmm.
Again, connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I am so grateful that you took this time and you showed up, even though there was a part of you that was very much just wanting to be with you. I'm so happy that you chose to come and be with me and my listeners.
Me too, babe. Thank you for kind of pushing me into an edge of showing up in this space. It's medicine for me. It's perfect, and I'm so grateful for your hearts and your magic and seeing me and loving me and encouraging me and supporting me, because regardless of us being physically not near each other, you and I both know frequency and love is so powerful that we can feel each other. We're with each other right now. We're always with each other. So yeah, I really adore your heart, and thank you for creating this space with me today. Yeah, I'm actually gonna dance. That's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna dance, journal, clean, like just get into a place of movement and vibration myself. So that's exactly what I'm about to go do right now.
Awesome. And I don't know if you want people to link up with you, but if you do you want to tell them where to find you?
Yeah, I do. I want to connect with, I'm here to connect with so many beautiful souls in this life. So you can find me on Facebook. It's one of the primary ways that I love to connect is through my Facebook page, which is just Delaney Dwight. And then my Instagram handle is Delaney M. Dwight. And my website is www.delaneymdwight.com. And that is where my one-on-one work is, my Artist Sacred Striptease, which we didn't even get to really touch in today. But yeah, that's where you can contact me and find me, and I'm more than open to receive anyone who wants to connect and communicate and share this co-created reality just through conversation and love and getting to know each other. So yeah.
Excellent. Love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much again.
Oh, thank you, Mama. This is amazing. Thank you so much. And I just adore you, and you have such a beautiful day riding these waves, and I'll talk to you very soon. And I'm looking forward to, is there going to be a recorded version of this?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Katie's really good about getting it on, and then I'll forward it to you, and then you can share it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you. All right.
Soma Fusion Media.